One of the most fascinating elderly people that I have ever met in my life is Professor Trần Văn Khê, a renowned scholar who devoted his entire life to preserving and promoting Vietnamese traditional music, culture, and cuisine. I had the privilege of meeting him when I was still in high school. He visited my school to deliver a talk about the essence of Vietnamese cultural identity and the importance of safeguarding its value. And after the event, I even had the chance to take a photo with him, which is still one of my most treasured memories. And at that time, I was still a high school student, so I didn't fully understand the magnitude of his contribution. However, I was still deeply impressed by the way that he talked. Very calm, insightful, and extremely inspiring. Despite being 90 years old and confined to a wheelchair, he still radiated a positive energy and an extraordinary passion for life. And later on, as I learned more about him, I became one of his admirers. After reading his memoir, I was so moved by the resilience that he showed through his early years. He overcame a lot of difficulties while nurturing a rich and compassionate soul. And to me, until now, he's still one of the people that I look up to the most. And even though he passed away, I still think that his influence to the younger generation remains profound and irreplaceable. What can old people teach their youth? In my opinion, the most valuable lesson that the elderly people can teach the youth is the wisdom come from their lived experience. They have navigated failures, relationships, financial struggles, and turning points that the youngsters have not yet encountered. And their stories, even the mistakes that they have made, provide guidance to handle adversity, to make informed decisions, and to maintain perspective in the face of uncertainty. So in many ways, talking to the older people allows the young people to learn from decades of trial and errors without repeating those mistakes themselves. What can young people teach the old? Conversely, young people often brings a fresh mindset and a willingness to challenge established norms. They introduce the older generation to new technology, emerging cultural trends, and alternative approaches to problem solving. As people age, it's easy to become more comfortable to familiar routines and ideas, which can lead to stagnation, and interaction with the young generation can help older individuals to stay adaptive and remain intellectually curious and recognize that the world is constantly changing. So ultimately, both generations benefit when they learn from each other, and it helps create a more harmonious society. Can old and young people share the same interests? Absolutely! I think old and young people can share the same interests. I don't think age naturally limits what someone can enjoy. It's more about personality, exposure, and life experience. For example, an older person can genuinely love going to concerts and exploring new ideas, while a teenager can enjoy a quieter hobby like gardening or crocheting. When people from different generations share the same interests, it can be very beneficial. The older people can bring experience, patience, and deep understanding, while the young people brings creativity, new ideas, and energy. So I think this exchange not only strengthens the relationship, but it can also help both sides grow. So age can shape preferences to a certain extent, but it definitely doesn't dictate them.
Like and subscribe nha mấy bà. Hi hi.